Hello, everybody. How are we doing this evening? It has been quite the week for us. We had a little scare with our youngest. He had a febrile seizure. I'm not quite sure how to say that word. Febrile. And essentially, that's a seizure from a fever, from the onset of a quick fever. And we ended up in the emergency room. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Maybe I will share more about that experience later, but it gave us a big scare. He's okay. He's all right. Everything's fine. But it's kind of put me in a funk, guys, a big funk. And I think that is mostly because I'm really tired. And me on little sleep is just recipe for disaster. But anyhow, I had an experience today that I think was a God thing, and sometimes God has a bit of a sense of humor, and He will provide something that you really need, okay? So, we all have the type of mass we like to go to. Some of us might be more traditional. That's kind of the camp that I fall into, and really prefer the reverent, beautiful Gregorian chant and all that good stuff. And some of us might be more modern, and we all have our different flavors, right? So, this is silly. So, today I was going to go out of my comfort zone and go to the standard Novus Ordo Mass with a family member, and it didn't work out. And I ended up going to another church that I thought had a Latin Mass. And I thought I was just going to enjoy this Latin Mass by myself and just make it for me, right? Make this Mass experience for me. Well, apparently, this parish had changed schedules, and I ended up at the Spanish Mass. I understand Spanish, but I don't speak it very well. And here I am realizing that I'm at Spanish Mass, which is not going to be like a lovely sensory experience for me because I don't speak Spanish very well. And it was just so funny to me because I was reminded of something that I learned a while back, which is the Mass continues. Everything happens as it should. Body and blood, the consecration still occurs whether you have an enriching spiritual experience or not. And I think after the week I've had, I wasn't going to have a fulfilling spiritual experience today, Sunday, at church, but by directing me and me ending up at a Mass that was just so out of my comfort zone, so many things I could say. I'm not going to say them. By that happening, it just totally reminded me that this isn't about me. This is about the sacrifice of the Mass. And that's a good reminder, especially when we're feeling dry and just spiritually, and I think mine isn't due a lot to the lack of sleep. But when we're feeling that lack of zeal, it's just important to remember that as long as we are choosing the motions and we're going through those motions, I mean, we don't want to live in this place, right? But as long as we're choosing the correct choices, turning away from sin, going towards the good, that's that's what we can offer. And the Mass and the mystery and the goodness of Jesus still continues. Does that make any sense? I'm just kind of rambling. I'm really tired. But I wanted to hop on here because some of you may follow me on Instagram, and you may have seen that Sebastian had that seizure. So I wanted to let you know that he is doing fine. He's okay. He's going to be fine. And maybe we'll share that story later because it was just so life-changing and scary and yuck. But hi, I have somebody on here. I have no idea how to see who or what, but oh, hello. How are you doing? I can't see anything. I don't know technology, but I was just talking about Sebastian's seizure this week and how it was a really horrible experience, but I was actually wrapping it up. I was right about to. Oh, thank you, Heather. I was right about to close it up, but essentially just saying that when you're having a hard week and you're experiencing that spiritual dryness, just to trust and press into those